Hello everyone, my name is Emily Culbertson and I'm a teacher at Knowledge Adventures. Today we are going over how to order at a restaurant in Italian, specifically going over part 3, which is dinner. If you missed part 1, over ordering breakfast, or part 2, over ordering lunch, don't worry, check out the links below. This is a play acting dialogue. So there's one character going to be green and another character going to be blue. This is a great way that you can practice dialogues before actually doing it in real life. So here on page 1, we have, excuse me, mi scusi, where's a restaurant? Dove un ristorante? Let's try those again. Mi scusi, dove un ristorante? All right, good job. Then they are going to tell you some directions. Maybe they'll say something like to the left, to the right, or straight ahead. Of course, they could say something else, but these are the 3 most important directions to know. So here we're starting with to the left, a sinistra, a sinistra. To the right, a destra, straight ahead, avanti diritto. Think of Dorito, like Dorito chips. You're going straight ahead in the grocery store to buy chips. It might just be a silly way to help yourself remember it a little bit better. And then, of course, you're going to say thank you, that they gave you directions. So that is grazie. They'll say you're welcome, prego. And then have a good evening is buona serata. Buona serata. Then you get to the restaurant, and remember that ciao is used a lot, but it's actually really just used casually, which would be for friends, family, kids, and young people. AKA, don't use it if you're trying to be polite when going into a restaurant. Instead, what you should say is like a time referencing one, like good evening, good day, good afternoon, etc. So since we are doing dinner, let's say good evening. This is going to be buona sera. Buona sera. And then they might ask you, well, how many people for your table, which is quanti, like quantity. And then you just say the number and please. So maybe like quattro, per favore. Of course, you could say another number. And then don't forget to include the E at the end of please. Spanish is per favor, but Italian is per favore. Just a slight difference. When you get to your table or tavolo, one of the first questions they're going to ask is, what do you want to drink? Now, the short way of them asking that is going to be da bere, da bere. Think of the word beverage, and it'll make it easier to remember. And here are some options. Juice is succo, succo, like you're sucking a juice box as a way to remember it, succo. Water is acqua. And milk is latte, not to be confused with coffee. It's not coffee, it's actually milk. And here is how to say a few other drink options. Now, of course, water is just acqua, all right? But if you want to be more specific and sound more Italian, then you should say a liter of, and then sparkling water or natural water, like regular water. So sparkling water, you're really going to say a liter of water, sparkling or fizzy. So un litro d'acqua, which means of water, and then sparkling is frizzante. Let's try to put that all together. Un litro d'acqua frizzante. Great job, I know that's a little long. Let's try the next one. A litre of natural water. This is un litro d'acqua naturale. Naturale, which is really saying a litre of water natural, right? So describing words are going at the end because they like to tell you first what they're talking about. That's water. And then they describe it. That's what happens a lot of times with describing in Italian. Next one, lemonade, limonata, limonata. And orange soda is aranciata. CIA is sounding like cha, not chia or kia. This is aranciata. And now the main part of ordering. What do you want to eat? So they might ask something like da mangiare a cena, Cena means dinner. Mangiare means to eat. To start it off, say vorrei, which means I would like. So just a reminder, vorrei means I would like. EI sounds like A, just like in sleigh. Of course, there could be many things that you could order, but let's start here. We're going to start off with some or a little bit of soup. Un po' di zuppa. Un po' di zuppa. Now, I know Italy is mostly, you think, probably known as pasta, pizza, gelato, but a lot of it is also on the coast, so you're going to get some great seafood too. So let's say some fish and chips or fried fish and french fries, aka del pesce frito, pesce, not pesche, pesce, because whenever you have an SCI or SCE, it's going to sound like a sh. And french fries, and is patatine, coming from potatoes, which is patate. This is patatine, which means it's small potatoes, and then fritte, meaning they're fried. So fried little potatoes, which is a cute way of saying french fries. Let's put that together. Patatine fritte. Last option on here is some spaghetti, aka degli, like yeehaw, degli spaghetti. Degli spaghetti. And make sure you look at whatever describing word comes after that in the Italian menu, because spaghetti is a noodle. It's not necessarily just the red tomato one you might be thinking of. There are other ones like spaghetti carbonara, where you would have a creamy sauce with egg and cheese and then bacon on top. So watch out for that. Let's just pause for a second and we're going to talk about dinner a little bit. So dinner time in Italy is a bit later than other countries. If you're going to a restaurant, the restaurants will open around 7 p.m. So you're probably not getting dinner until around 8 p.m. Now, a lot of them know that tourists generally like to eat earlier, like maybe around 5-ish. And you'll be able to see restaurants that will open up earlier for that accommodation. But if you're wanting a more authentically Italian experience and food, then you should wait for those ones that are opening up a bit later. So technically, there's different types of restaurants in Italy. In a lot of countries, you can just say the word restaurant, and it's like the umbrella for then other restaurants, like nice ones, fast food, diners, etc. But in Italy, if you said ristorante, that's generally insinuated to mean a nicer restaurant, aka one where you're going to have multiple meals there. So just keep that in mind. What you would expect at a ristorante is to pay more. It's usually for more of a fancier occasion. Maybe you're having an anniversary or something. And you could have an appetizer, a first course. First course would include one of the three, which would be soup, zuppa, pasta, or risotto. And then second course would be fish or meat, and then a side. After that, then you could also have a salad, dessert, etc. But there are other restaurants too. So some other options is a pizzeria, which sells pizza. There's a paninoteca, which would be a sandwich shop. Think of the word panino, which means sandwich. Trattoria is it's like a nice local restaurant. So you're going to get food that is local cuisine. So if you would like to eat how that area eats them, that could be really interesting for you. Also, they have some lovely desserts, which is great too. And you don't have to pick multiple courses. This could just be one course. And then there's tavola calda, which is basically a diner. It's literally saying hot table. So they have pre-made meals for you to pick from. And then they'll respond back. Maybe they'll say something like, great choice, ottima scelta, or something like that. And then you can say thank you for, them waiting on you, etc. And that's grazie. Grazie. And then when you have your food, they're going to eventually come and ask you, how's it going? Like, how's the food? And that's probably going to be asked with tutto a posto. Tutto a posto. And then if it's good, you could say something like, it's fine, it's good, va bene, which can also mean a few other things, but in a restaurant, going to mean it's fine and it's good, va bene. And then it's delicious is è delizioso, è delizioso. And then again, thank you is grazie. And before you leave, of course, you have to pay for it. So you can say the bill, please, aka il conto, per favore. Nearly looks like the word count. That might be a helpful way to remember it. But it is different than canto, C-A-N-T-O, which means I sing. So just keep in mind it is something different. They might say something like, of course, certo. Whenever you got a C-I or C-E, your C does make a ch sound. And then when you're leaving, say something politer than ciao, as we already mentioned earlier. So things you could say is goodbye, arrivederci, thank you, grazie, or have a good evening, buona serata. Did you enjoy this mini conversation and understanding every aspect of it? Well, you can practice this at home or online with our digital print off of it, or you could just keep it as a digital copy and use it on Zoom calls with friends, family. So if you would like the link to this printout, then feel free to check out the link below and you can get your copy today. Looking for more videos like this? Like and subscribe. And guess what? We also teach private and group Italian lessons through Knowledge Adventures in online sessions. So message us for details if you would like to learn more. Ciao!